Okay, people, the time has officially come. I'm going to rank every single NFL head coach for the 2020 NFL season. Obviously, the 2020 NFL season has already gotten underway, but we're only about 2 weeks in, so I figured it's still a good time for me to rank these head coaches. I'm going to rank these coaches in tiers. I have 5 different tiers for you guys. Tier number 1 is the elite head coaches. Up next is tier number 2. Up next is tier number 3. Tier number 4 is below average, awful head coaches. So those are the bottom level head coaches. And then the last tier is the unknown tier. Those are coaches that I'm just not quite sure about right now. You know, they're rookie head coaches. There's actually a head coach that coached last year that I'm not quite sure about. That's in his second season. We'll talk about him down the road. But right now, let's get right into it, man. In tier number 1, at the 1 spot, I have Bill Belichick. Up next is Andy Reid. Up next is Mike Tomlin at number 3, John Harbaugh at number 4, Sean Payton at number 5, and Doug Peterson at number 6. Those are your elite head coaches. Let's start off with Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, I mean, I can't praise this guy enough. 6 Super Bowl rings, 9 Super Bowl appearances. In the last 19 years, he's yet to have a losing season. We've seen this guy win games without Tom Brady. We've seen him win games with Matt Castle. We've seen him win games with Jacoby Brissett. We've seen him win games with Jimmy Garoppolo. Quarterbacks that are average to below average. Jimmy Garoppolo is an average quarterback. Jacoby Brissett and Matt Castle are both backups and below average quarterbacks. Bill Belichick is arguably the best defensive mind in the entire NFL. He has a very good understanding of what offenses are trying to do. He's a very good strategist. He's very great on script. He makes great adjustments, drive to drive, play by play, and year to year, man. And Bill Belichick does a great job of finding players that fit a specific role and fitting them into his team and getting the most out of those players. He does a great job of building up his rosters. And listen, I'll give Bill Belichick some brownie points as well, just because in 1994, he had a winning record with the Cleveland Browns. That's hard to do because that franchise has been a very dysfunctional franchise. Bill Belichick at the number 1 spot in tier number 1. Andy Reid up next. Andy Reid is probably the most creative offensive mind in the entire NFL. This guy made Alex Smith look like an MVP candidate. This guy took Donovan McNabb to a Super Bowl. And I'm not trying to knock Donovan McNabb, but I don't think Donovan McNabb is a Hall of Famer. And I think that Donovan McNabb benefited from Andy Reid more so than Andy Reid benefited from Donovan McNabb. Andy Reid elevated McNabb more than McNabb elevated Andy Reid, in my opinion. And last year, we saw MVP-level quarterback and Patrick Mahomes go down for a couple games due to injuries. And what happens? Matt Moore comes right in and is able to pick up Andy Reid's system very quickly, and he beat a playoff team. He beat the Minnesota Vikings, a team that went to the playoffs last year. He was able to, play very well in relief versus the Broncos. He took the Green Bay Packers down to the wire. Andy Reid is a great offensive guru. He's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won 1 Super Bowl. He just showed you this past year that if you give him an MVP-level quarterback, a truly MVP-level quarterback, and Patrick Mahomes, he can win you a Super Bowl. Andy Reid is at the 2 spot for me. Mike Tomlin at number 3. This guy's been to 2 Super Bowls. He's won a Super Bowl. He's never had a losing season in 14 years. The players respect him. He's a great motivator. And last year, going 8-8 with Doug Hodges and Mason Rudolph being the quarterback for 85% of the season, that's an amazing achievement. You could have made an argument that last year, Mike Tomlin actually deserved to be NFL head coach of the year because he did an excellent job of coaching up those guys. He had a winning record with those guys. Keep in mind, Big Ben Roethlisberger started off 0-2. He had a winning record with those quarterbacks. This guy is accomplished, and he's not getting enough credit in Pittsburgh. John Harbaugh at the 4th spot for me. 13 years into the NFL, only had 1 losing season. He's won Coach of the Year in the past. He's a great adjuster, year to year. Every single year, it seems like the Ravens are a different team. 1 minute, they're a team bombing the ball down the field with Joe Flacco. 1 minute, they're a ball control, defensive-oriented team. And now he's embracing the young legs and dynamic ability that Lamar Jackson presents to the table. Gotta love Jim Harbaugh. He's won a Super Bowl in the past. Like I said, he's at number 4 for me. Sean Payton. The fact that Sean Payton, 14 years into his career, has a winning percentage of 63% for his career, that shows this guy is legit because he is coaching in a division for most of his career with Cam Newton, who now is with the Patriots, but for a while, Cam Newton was with the Panthers for a long time, okay? He mostly throughout his career has coached in a division with Cam Newton and Matt Ryan, 2 MVP level quarterbacks that both led their teams to Super Bowls. Sean Payton, he does a great job of maximizing a player's strength and hiding their weaknesses. I am very convinced that Drew Brees has not been the greatest quarterback the last 2 seasons, and Sean Payton continues to disguise things and get Drew Brees in the best position to succeed. I still think Drew Brees is very good, but I do think that Drew Brees' arm has deteriorated a little bit. I don't think that he's quite the same athlete that he once was. He can't throw the ball down the field, and it does not matter. Not to mention last year, Teddy Bridgewater had to replace Drew Brees due to Drew Brees' injury, and the team did not fall off a cliff. Sean Payton, he's great. Doug Peterson, I already talked about him earlier. Doug Peterson is the most underrated great head coach in the NFL. 3 winning seasons the last 3 years. He's beaten Bill Belichick in the Super Bowl. He won that game with Nick Foles, who, outside of Philadelphia, during his time with the Rams, the Chiefs, the Jaguars, he has not been very good, and he couldn't even be out Mitchell Trubisky this past training camp in Chicago. Doug Peterson, he's very creative, he's very aggressive, he understands his personnel, and the fact that he got the Eagles to the playoffs last year due to all those injuries is definitely a testament to his great coaching ability. He is the last head coach in the elite tier. Thank you so much for watching this video today. Please also note that the Juice Alert Sports Podcast is not just a YouTube channel. It is available on all podcasting platforms, including Spotify, Google Podcasts, iTunes, and Apple Podcasts. Also, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share this content with all your friends. This podcast is my favorite thing in the entire world right now. It is my passion. And I want more people to listen to this podcast. I really want this podcast to grow. Also, a fun fact about me is that I want to go into the sports broadcasting and media world once I graduate from the University of Toledo, a college in Northern Ohio. I am looking to become one of the next great sports broadcasters and analysts out in the world. And I potentially would like to start my own network if this podcast really truly grows. Or if I fall short of that goal, I would love to work for a big-time network like ESPN or Fox Sports 1. I am open to all networks. So if you believe in my dreams and you see or hear my passion through the screen, be sure to tell all your friends about the Juice Alert Sports Podcast. Stay motivated, you guys. Have a God-blessed day, and I'm out.